Commissioner, we'll talk about Mount Charleston here in a second again, but transportation. I know you recently had a chance to, a new groundbreaking at US and 95, a new interchange there, part of the Northwest corridor improvement. So again, that we've talked about the Beltway, but US 95, as we've seen an incredible number of changes there through District C and through all of Clark County.
And no question, the 95 corridor, we were fortunate because that is the primary way to get in and out of the downtown area, the Strip area. And the pilot program, which was done years ago, that expanded the 95 and added an HOV lane, a carpooling lane that goes essentially from Rancho all the way up the 95 to Washington. That has been extremely successful. A great investment by the Nevada Department of Transportation, NDOT, and the results of that it's been up in operation now a few years, is it works. You know, expanding that portion and getting the HOV lane. This project that was just celebrated and kicked off this past week is going to take it from Washington all the way up to Ann Road, and once again expand the 95 corridor, so there'll be an additional travel lane and an HOV lane on that segment. Along with the expanded roadway, there's some bridge improvements at Gowan. They're expanding the Gowan Bridge, which is a dedicated overpass. The Cheyenne intersection, they're going to do some loops and make access as far as egress onto the 95 a lot smoother. Out at Ann Road, where Rancho ultimately comes into Ann and to the 95, they're going to do some structural improvements there, all to make it easier to access the 95 and also move along the 95. Big project, very big project. It also ties into, recently we had the RTC had a groundbreaking of the Centennial Hills Park and Ride, and that is located up towards Durango. Whereas now if you get on a Deuce bus or one of the vehicles leaving for the dedicated ride downtown, which also uses the HOV lane, instead of waiting to Washington to get into it, now they're going to be on Ann Road, and that route in ride is going to be a lot smoother and a lot more efficient, a lot quicker. So we anticipate the completion of this project bringing more people into the park and ride situation, the carpooling, the car ride program, we call it at the RTC. So a lot of good things from an environmental standpoint. Certainly it's going to make access in and out of the Northwest area a lot easier and a lot more efficient.
And the ACE C, I believe, the ACE Express C line, that will just continue to improve and evolve?
It will. You know, it's interesting, Randy, because people, you know, Nevada has this independent spirit, this cowboy spirit, as Commissioner Collins always reminds us, but it's been real difficult to get people out of their cars and experiment or try carpooling or ride sharing. And one of the challenges we've had from feedback in our surveys is make it more convenient for me, make it more efficient. So until someone sees that, okay, I'm going to try it, I'm going to leave my car in the driveway, I'm going to try the carpooling. Now we have the vehicles that are the newest and best of the technology. They're efficient, they're clean, they're comfortable, the on-time performances are there. Now we have to make it even more accessible to a larger group of people. And this corridor is going to be a real test market for us, because we will have all the elements in place for someone to at least attempt. That's all we want them to do, is try the system, see if it works, because the benefits, obviously, getting out of the car, the environmental, the air pollution, the cost savings to the rider, they're all in place. So the next few years we'll be seeing some real great results.
I know you'll stay on top of that for us, Commissioner. And also, as we just discussed, Mount Charleston, maybe the most scenic spot in all of Southern Nevada, part of District C. We've been reminded recently with the cathedral fire that took place and pretty much ground anything to a halt for a few days back in July up at Mount Charleston, we're reminded that Mother Nature, whether it's fire or snowstorms or electricity, things outside of Mother Nature's realm, it's a little bit tough and quite a challenge for you and Clark County up on District C. Just talk about that a little, if you would, Commissioner.
It was amazing. Recently we not only had the fire up on Mount Charleston, but the same day we had the fire up in Moapa Valley, and talk about the stars aligning. And we build up for the worst case scenario. We prepare, we train, we provide the equipment. But up at Mount Charleston, it is such a unique area that a fire up there can cause literally devastation for generations. And we toured recently not only the fire area, but we also were up there and took advantage of a town board meeting and doing some things. So I spent most of the day up there. And first off, the fire, Randy, it was just those again that are familiar with Mount Charleston, this fire was literally on part of the mountain that the elevations were literally, they weren't 45, they were straight up the hill. And a lot of the people that have been there and have been in these situations before said, A, we were very fortunate, B, we had wonderful people involved. And that's not only Metro, Nevada Highway Patrol, the Department of Forestry. We called in the city and the fire for backup support. But it was miraculous that we didn't lose any homes when you went and saw the fire and where it took place and where it traveled. It was the luck of the wind, the luck of some locations, and the great people, the dedicated people that did it. But it was amazing. It was an eye-opener. We literally came within 30, 40 feet of some houses.